I'll certainly give way to the honourable gentleman.
As I said previously in the House, I apologise for not having given her advance notice, and I wasn't aware that I should have done that, and I will make sure, if in such an instance in the future, that I will do that. But all I did was quote publicly from the BBC, and what it says, and I accept, OK, you were a former minister, but by being a former minister, you actually give real precedence to your remarks.
Order. Can I just say to the honourable gentleman, I am not a former minister. I have never been a minister. I have no aspiration to be a minister. Mr. Robert Halfon.
I apologise again, Mr. Speaker, but what it says that the honourable lady says is one of the reasons immigration officers are SXXX is actually because some people cheat and they decide everyone is like that. You made no the honourable lady, made no attempt to make a distinction, and by those remarks, she tarred every immigration officer with the same brush.
Actually, I didn't say some. I said large numbers, and that's one of the corrections that I've just put in to Hansard. And as he knows, because unlike some of his colleagues which only read the blog that he wrote about this subject rather than the original BBC article, the original BBC article makes it quite clear that I was asked about the negative attitude of some border officials by a questioner who implied that this was universal. I corrected her and suggested that it was not a universal belief, and I said that the reason why some officials, and I can't take responsibility for the words that the BBC put in their report, I said that the reason why some officials did this was because so many, and the large numbers, if he reads the BBC article, which he claims to have in his hand, large numbers, in every time he's quoted this, he has referred to some, not large numbers, which is the phrase I used. So I suggest, and I don't want to bore the House with quibbles about the details of this, the words that I said earlier are accurate. The words that he has used, I regret, I'm sure inadvertently, are not. And I think it's important that the House knows my views. And I wish to finish on the point that I was finally making, which is that we need to invest in helping communities deal with the consequences of migration. And if we fail to do that, we could create the kind of tensions and vulnerabilities in our communities which we have experienced in the past in Slough, where because of the competition between people of different races, of different origins, then there is a risk that our peaceful, multicultural coexistence, the thing that was genuinely reflected by those 850 children singing in the Albert Hall from Slough, will not continue to be a positive attitude, but will create such a source of stress within communities that could turn into tension and violence between individual communities. An outcome which I know nobody in this House would like to see.
In Mowat. Point of order, Mr. Robert Halfon.
Mr. Speaker, the honourable member has implied that I have misled the House. First of all, I'm quoting directly from the BBC article. Now, the point is, of the part of the article that is in quotes, says as follows, in quotations, direct quotations, one of the reasons immigration officers are SXXX is actually because some people cheat and they decide everyone is like that. That is in direct quotes, and that is all I want to say on the matter.